Hello, my name is Pilaf, and you are probably just about to go to bed, but that's okay, you can stay up just a few minutes longer and watch this video, it's not gonna hurt your sleep any. Anyway, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna analyze that episode that had all the Gildas in it. That had like the Gilda country, and all the Gildas were there in the My Little Pony show, in case you don't know what I'm analyzing. I mean, I assume you know that I'm analyzing the pony show, but in case you just stumbled on my videos randomly. Anyway, the first thing you need to know is that in the 5th season, there's like this table, and when the writers get really lazy, they just bring up this table, and the table say, okay guys, everybody shut up, this is what we're doing today. It's gonna be Colonel Mustard with the rope in the study, and then that's what the whole episode's about. So, in the episode about Gilda Country, what the table do is it summons up Kansas Governor Sam Brownback and Beauregard Q Kazoo from Foster Home from Imaginary Friends. The table just arbitrarily decide that these are the best people to go to Gilda Country and help them with whatever their problem is, but the table don't tell them what the problem is, they just have to go and they find out. So they get there, and there's like Gildas everywhere living in poverty. There's like little baby Gildas, and they'd be like, Mama, I'm hungry, and Mama Gilda be like, quiet, I'm hungry too. So Sam Brownback and Beauregard Q Kazoo, they go hunt down the Gilda from the first season that showed up in the first season of the My Little Pony show. So that Gilda, she's like, go away, Sam Brownback and Beauregard Q Kazoo, and they're like, no. And so she's like, okay, so we're in poverty because we lost this magical thing that made us like super wealthy. It fell down a cliff, and that's pretty much, that's it. So Sam Brownback, he's like, nah, that can't be why you guys are in poverty. And the Gilda, she's like, yeah, it is. And he's like, no, it's probably an attitude problem. You guys are in trouble because your attitude not so good. So then Beauregard Q Kazoo, being the little bastard that he is, he goes to the cliff that this thing fell down, and he just throws himself off the cliff. And so then Sam Brownback, he's out like, Gilda, you gotta go and go off that cliff to go save Beauregard Q Kazoo. And Gilda's like, I don't wanna do that. And Sam Brownback is like, see, this is what I'm talking about, this attitude problem, this is why you in poverty. And Gilda's like, no, it's because we don't have any money. And Sam Brownback, he say that's not true. You gotta go down that cliff. So Gilda don't want to be a murderer. She say, okay. So she goes and she gets this rope, and she ties this rope around a rock. Then she ties the rope around her waist. I guess because if the rope doesn't save her, it will at least break her spine in two, so she doesn't have to think about falling for very long. She's just gonna die right there on the spot. So Gilda starts climbing down. You know, she's real nervous, real careful. And Sam Brownback, he's looking at this rope, and he thinks to himself, I'm going to untie this rope. So he does that, and then he ties the rope around himself, and then he jumps off the cliff. So Gilda is nearly killed by these two assholes, but she apparently has been working out real hard, and so she's real strong, and her spine does not break in two, and she hangs on just barely, and they get pulled down just far enough that here they are next to that thing that they lost that made the Griffin country lots of money. And she can't reach it because she's got these two assholes hanging around her waist, so she climb up, she pull up her friends, and then that thing that made lots of money, it just fall off into the cliff. And so Gilda goes, Sam Brownback, I realize it was you who was most important all along, and I should not have been having such a bad attitude. After that, somehow, miraculously, they climb back up the cliff, even though Sam Brownback's not that good of a climber, and neither is Beauregard Q Kazoo. But I don't know, they just sort of glossed that part over. I guess they figure, you know, like, your kid, she probably not gonna notice. I mean, it happens during the cutaway, so anyway, they back up there in the town, and Sam Brownback says, let me tell you Gildas what, I'm gonna teach you how to make cakes, so that way, y'all can eat cake. And Gilda is like, wow, you know, we still in poverty, like it's all like Bird Detroit up in here, but I guess that we can just be happy and eat cake. Thanks, Sam Brownback, this is real helpful. Great life lesson right here. I should take this home. And then the table that sent Beauregard Q Kazoo and Sam Brownback out to help these Griffins, it just figured like, man, everything is so screwed up now, it's not even worth it anymore. So it just calls them both back, says, okay guys, go home. You're done, pack it up. So yeah, that episode, that's kind of how I saw that episode. Also, I guess I neglected to say that Gilda hooked up with another Gilda, and they probably are dating now, because that other Gilda was so excited about the cake, she's like, man, I never eat cake, because none of us can afford cake, or the ingredients in cake, and you can't really make a business selling cake here, because none of us have enough money to support that business. That's what poverty is like, that's why it's a trap it's hard to get out of. But hey, you know, you could have another interpretation. It is a kid's show, it is pretty easy to digest, and there's not that much to read into it, honestly. In fact, some people probably think that this nanalysis thing is just prattling along like an asshole. So, there you go, now you know, watch my show, you're free to go. Okay, looks like it is that time again to check out my fan art, so let's go ahead and see what we got. Okay, first one up is me being used as a flamethrower. Not gonna react, no sir. Here's one by Trace. This one looks like it's drawn on paper. You can tell it's got a lot of heart in it. Here's one with me telling this guy not to set my head aflame. It's just not funny, man. This one's pretty creepy. I think it's because the eyes are just staring off into the ether. Here's one with me in socks. Very popular back in the day. I remember every pony had to be in socks. Here's one with me as a dinosaur with a shotgun. That's pretty cool. I like this one. Here's me looking at this spatula. Don't know why I'm so into this spatula. Here's me worshipping the object of the griffin's source of wealth. Now this one is just downright adorable. Look at that, kicking my feet, looking so happy. Yes, I see the flames. Here I am, not getting along with My Little Silver Quill. He don't appreciate I made him lunch. Here is an artist who appreciates my disgust as being drawn as inanimate objects on flame. And here's another one from this same guy, learning logic from Twilight Sparkle. Here I am as a pixelated horse. That's pretty cool. Oh, this one's kinda... Oh, okay, just get my feet done. Okay, now, this says Heimlich maneuver over it, but I'm skeptical that that's what that is. Okay, now this definitely isn't what this thing says on that little box. That is not a safe for work image, I don't think. Okay, so thank y'all for your fan art. Most of y'all did real good. You know, sent in some great fan art. I'm real impressed, real flattered by all this. Those of you that maybe sent in things that might be like Heimlich maneuver, don't send me videos of me doing the Heimlich maneuver with My Little Silver Quill anymore. I appreciate how into me that you are. I'm glad to have big fans, but maybe just tone down your enthusiasm for me just a smidge. I mean, not to stifle creativity, but let's try to keep this nanalysis intellectual in the future, the nice platonic nanalysis. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.